conversation I had, and I appreciate progressives like Dante Atkins, who, I think that we can work with them on policy a lot, but like this ultimately cuts to the chase. Dante says, the most significant ideological disagreement I have with most DSA types I run into is this: I care about progressive policy, not class politics. If rich people support good policy and poor people don't, I don't care. I want policy. A united working class is not my objective. And Bosca says, this is an honest description of the difference between broad progressive and socialist politics. Socialists know that capitalists, as capitalists, not individual outliers, can't support politics that give the working class more rights, much less freedom from class domination. And you see those people embody it to the point that they're going out of their way those evenings to go to city council meetings and agitate against housing people because it's going to cost them. They aren't going to be able to sell their house, or even more benevolently, pass on their house to their kids. Like if they are, it's not going to be worth as much. And like that is just, fundamentally, it's greed. It's and we have terms for these things, and it's not positive.
Last thing I'll say on this, and this is maybe a little bit less on the housing point, but on the Atkins point that Bhaskar is sort of coming at too, is like this is a real problem with progressives at large, right? Is that there is this kind of fixation on like policy above the process, right? In the sense of like, I don't know, like those people will say like, I just want to see this end result. I don't care who does it or how it gets done, right? And without jumping into some of the weirder, more sinister stuff that can sometimes go along with saying, I don't care how it gets done as long as it looks a certain way. This is a fundamental problem that progressives fall into that is not solely like an issue of progressives, but it's something that progressives should not get tricked into thinking that like you see so much resentment in this country, even on policies or ideas or things that are generally morally, maybe economically correct, but there's this feeling that is being done to you, right? So instead of it being something that is like collaborative and like, oh, we want to deal with housing, so we're going to do this kind of thing. Oh, the state is coming down and telling you to do this, or the professional managerial classes coming in and telling you to do this, or the corporations coming in and telling you to do this. Regardless of what even the subject matter is, there is a lot of resentment that builds up in this system because a lot of people don't feel a lot of control over their lives. And it's not just a feeling, it's a reality. A lot of people don't have control of their lives because the system denies people basic freedoms. And I think it's really critical for progressives at large, but also socials, not to fall into this trap of misunderstanding sometimes when you see things that even you might disagree with somebody's frustration with the policy or something like that. Understand that also a lot of this stuff does come down to a feeling of a lack of control in your life, and the fact that in the experience of this sort of being mandated or pushed on you. And socialists in particular should be very, very sensitive to that, which is why instead of wanting to push forward like a top-down Fabian, for people who don't know who that is, the Fabians, where we're going to have a bunch of fancy boys come together and sort of build socialism from the top down. I reject that completely. Even if I might want some of the things that they want, because I think it's really important to build these things up from the bottom up. One, so that they have the support that is necessary to win the fight against capital and the forces that want to prevent them. But two, so that people understand these things are like our inheritance, right? So public power, public energy is our inheritance. Public housing is our inheritance. Union protections are our inheritance, and it's not just this kind of top-down mandate from some kind of metaphorical or something that feels far off from you or your influence. It's a mentality that drives me nuts, and you see it with a lot of people on the left too, from things like sin taxes, right? Or all this kind of stuff. Oh, we're going to control the behavior of people because they don't know what's best for themselves. That is just flat out bad politics. It's a bad mentality to bring into any kind of movement that wants to liberate people.